What's up guys, Nathan here. Today's video is going to be shorter than usual since I've been a little busy. I did, however, want to take some time to touch on two major topics. My league start, also known as my first impressions of Betrayal, and brands. If you just want to hear about brands, skip to about 2.5 minutes into the video. But for now, let's talk Betrayal. As some of you may know, I chose to stream my start to Betrayal League here on YouTube. It was a pretty standard affair. I leveled with Smite until level 12, then Stormbrand until level 28, and have been using Armageddon Brand ever since. Probably the highlight of my leveling experience was getting the Axiom Perpetuum drop. It's a pretty crappy scepter for any endgame build, but it can be god tier for early leveling, and I actually used it all the way until maps. Otherwise, my luck was pretty shit. I dropped maybe a couple raw Chaos Orbs during the entire storyline, and I didn't get a single Humility Divination card after farming Blood Aqueducts for over 2 hours. Luckily, the new League mechanic kept this otherwise lackluster leveling experience extremely exciting. I was constantly trying to figure out how to influence my syndicate, unlock new veiled mods, and deal with these crazy new timed reward systems. Another hype part of leveling for me was seeing all of the new lore and character dialogue. I'm not sure why Haku is white now, but hearing all of the new voice acting and NPC interactions was way cooler than I anticipated.
A mother bear will fight to the death to protect her cubs. There is no deeper cruelty than caging one animal.
Mind if I jump in?
Also, I'm not sure if this was in the patch notes, but it feels like at least half of all the areas in the game have had their lighting work completely redone, and it honestly looks breathtaking. All in all, Betrayal feels like the most fleshed out version of Path of Exile to date. With 4 league mechanics, a completely reworked atlas, and a handful of new skills, I can totally see myself sinking another 3 months of my life into this game. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the cool stuff. Brands. Brands are a brand new type of skill to Path of Exile. Basically, when you cast them, they do nothing. However, when an enemy gets close enough to one, they activate, attaching to that enemy and dealing damage in different ways depending on the skill. Once that enemy dies, the brand drops on the ground until either another enemy activates it or its duration runs out. Lastly, you can use a skill called Brand Recall that instantly teleports all brands to your location. On paper, this sounds pretty strong. It's kind of like a totem that can't die, moves on its own, and can be moved to your location with an instant cast spell. Unfortunately, like most skills in Path of Exile, they require some very specific investment to feel good, let alone reach their full potential. Here's a list of the following factors that impact brand gameplay. Duration. Brands will expire on their own, whether they're attached to an enemy or not. Attachment range. Brands have an extremely low attachment range by default, forcing you to regularly use brand recall to reposition them. Brands per enemy. The default limit is 1 brand per enemy, which can result in some pitiful single target damage if left unattended. Cooldown recovery speed. Brand recall has a 3-second cooldown, which actually feels painfully long without some levels in it. Maximum total brands. You start with 3 brands at once, which actually feels pretty okay, but increasing this number significantly impacts your clear speed, single target, and in my opinion, fun factor. Really quick here, I'd like to reorder these factors by how important I think they are when building a brand character. Your absolute priority should be to pick up the Runebinder Keystone to increase your brand per enemy limit, as that literally doubles your single target without considering the use of brand recall. Then, cooldown recovery speed for even more single target and ease of use, attachment range for better clear, maximum brands, and duration. Activation frequency also gets an honorable mention, but it's really just cast speed with better values across the board. So now that you've kind of got an idea of how I built my brand Hierophant, let's go over the gameplay. Put simply, it's pretty different from most self-cast builds. For optimal clear speed and single target damage, you run around your map basically spamming brand recall. The reason for this is that brand recall instantly activates all your brands upon pulling them towards you, which deals a huge amount of overlapping AoE damage at your location. This means that, if you're tanky enough, you can do ideal single target damage just by running in circles around a boss mashing Brand Recall. It's kind of brainless, but not much more than your average melee jug build. The good news is that the damage is pretty high. With absolute garbage gear, Armageddon Brand on a 4 link, and only my 3rd Ascendancy point, I was able to do Apex of Sacrifice with hardly any trouble at all. So, that leads me to my final verdict. Like totems, minions, and traps, brands are an acquired taste. They're totally viable as league starters, are fairly balanced between clear speed and single target, and are an excellent option for beginners. I'll probably do a full-fledged build guide for my Armageddon Brand Hierophant in the near future, but for now, I hope I was able to shed some light on these new skills for anyone that's interested in trying them out. Thanks for watching, this has been Nathan, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you!
Really quick here, guys. I wanted to thank my Patreon supporters. This is very exciting. I've been meaning to be able to say more than just one name for a while now. So sorry, I'm a little nervous. Forgive me if I misspeak or mispronounce, but I'm gonna give this a shot here. First of all, I want to thank Real Human holding it down from day one. Pete, brand new supporter. Zikarak, brand new supporter. Squally, also brand new supporter. Coda Matil. I hope it's Mattel. I don't know. You gave me a whole tutorial on how to say your name, man, so I feel bad I'm screwing this up, but I know it's Coda. And of course, Julia Orr. So thank you so much, Patreon supporters, especially all of you brand new ones out here. Really appreciate it. If anyone else is interested in supporting the channel, my videos, the things I do, feel free to check me out on patreon.com/NathanBrotherBob. Either way, thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for staying to the end of the video. You're special. You mean something to me.